Hi everybody, excuse me while I just put in some moon earrings. I just feel I need a bit of adornment here. Can I just tell you something? In India, at the ashram that I've been going to on and off for about, 14 years, it's called the Sri Narayani Peedam. When you go there, because I'm actually someone who could just, I literally, as you know, I could live in my pajamas, and doing these lives has kind of saved me in a way because it's meant I've had to get dressed most days. And, in India, it's very interesting at this ashram that I go to. You actually are asked to kind of like adorn yourself and make yourself look as good as you possibly can for the divine in general, and for Lakshmi, who is the goddess of beauty in particular. And I find that so fascinating because, in Western society at least, I think a lot of us are told, that worrying about how you look is somehow superficial and wrong, and there's some kind of admiration. I mean, for women who don't wear any makeup, or there are two ends of the spectrum, because obviously at one end we've got the women who have nothing real left on their body. They've got fake boobs and fake lips and a fake nose and probably fake cheekbones and maybe a fake butt, fake hair, dyed hair, extensions. What else can you get done? False fingernails, I can't remember. Oh, false eyelashes. You've got all that at one end of the spectrum. And at the other end of the spectrum, you've got the women who like chop their hair into a really short cut and they wear absolutely no makeup, and they might wear an old jumper and a pair of jeans or whatever. So, it's kind of interesting, that thing in for femininity. And, of course, women have been adorning themselves since, I know for sure since the time of the ancient Egyptians, which I only know that because of being lucky enough to go to the Louvre in Paris, which is obviously one of the best museums in the whole wide world. And we went to see the Egyptian ancient Egyptian section, and there was all this jewelry and like beautiful jewelry and necklaces and rings and things for the hair. And I was like, wow, it's just incredible to think that women have been adorning themselves like this, since forever, basically. So when you go to India, you're asked to make yourself look as beautiful as you can. So you do your hair, and you put flowers in your hair, and I always use, I don't know where it is right now, but I've got some kumkum. You put the little bindi there, and you wear a pretty dress with a shawl for modesty and all that. And I find it really interesting that, women are from Venus, so they say, and Venus is aligned with Lakshmi and goddess Aphrodite and the goddess of beauty and all that. So I don't know what got me onto that, but I find it kind of interesting, So I think I got onto it because I said about I wasn't in my pajamas the whole time during lockdown. And it has really been good for me, just to do this, and I'm going to keep doing it. It's too much work getting all the makeup and hair done in the morning. Well, I used to think that too, Genevieve. And honestly, I so need to go to the hairdresser. Apparently the hairdressers are opening up this weekend, and I'm literally going to WhatsApp my lovely hairdresser in the next half hour and ask her, say, Anna, are you back? Because she went to Portugal while lockdown was on to be with her kids, with her mum and dad. Anyway, I don't really know what that was apropos, but there you are. So before this iPad turns off, I just want to address something because, these things turn off. I just want to address a misconception that some people have about the masterclass that I'm holding on Sunday. Then I'm going to talk a little bit about Saturn, and I'm actually going to talk a little bit about Ghislaine Maxwell. And I would love it if, just while I'm doing all this other stuff, I'd I'd love it if you tell me if you know who Ghislaine Maxwell is, even if you don't know how to spell her name, because it's a bit unusual, and if you find it interesting or not interesting. I'm just curious to know what other people think. Okay. Oh, I love what Adele's just said on Facebook. With me, what you go to bed with is what you wake up with. Well, that's true, although some people do sleep in all their makeup, don't they? In fact, my mother, who has the most perfect skin of anyone ever in the history of the universe, she sleeps in full makeup. Like, she just goes to sleep with her makeup and she basically takes it off in the morning when she has a shower. So there we go. Magella says, get up, dress up, show up, and don't ever give up. Yeah, I mean, there is something in that. And, you know, I don't know why we're talking about this. Venus must be activated today or something. But I know my mum always told me as well that back in the day, with the soldiers in World War II, at least, I don't know about World War I maybe as well, the soldiers would be encouraged, the British soldiers would be encouraged to, you know, keep themselves nice and to brush their hair and slick it down in the kind of the old-fashioned way they used to, and get haircuts and shave and all that, because getting dressed up was part of the morale. And so again, you know, like I keep telling you about, everyone's been so kind about how these lives have helped them. They've helped me so much, just to getting me to get dressed every day, because otherwise I think I could have spent 3 months in my pajamas. And it sounds funny, but it's actually not that good for me, I don't think. It might be good for you. You might be someone who could do that, but it's kept me, you know, getting dressed. Okay, people are saying they don't know who she is. Interesting. Ghislaine Maxwell. Karen Ahern says my mum, she remembers my mum is stunning. I can tell you my mother is still stunning. Okay. All right. Interesting. Oh, it's so interesting doing these. Now, I just want to show you this. This is the page. Oh, you can't see it, can you? This is the page. Let me see if I can. Okay. This is the page for my masterclass. Okay, and the link is above. Yes, people are saying who Ghislaine Maxwell is. Okay, this is the link. I'm sorry, it's better on Instagram. You can't really see it on Facebook. There it is. It looks like that. All right, now there is a little bit of a misconception floating around that I want to address here. Okay, some people, even though I've said this quite a few times, but it's been the case always, some people think that you get the masterclass automatically when you pre-order the diary on Amazon or whatever, that you somehow automatically get it. And unfortunately, it's not the case. I have no way to even, I can't send anything via Amazon. I sell my book on there. I can get numbers and I can see who's bought what and all that, but I can't send anything from Amazon. So if you've bought my diary, you've pre-ordered it, and you would like to come to the masterclass on Sunday, which I'm extremely excited about, you need to go to this page, okay? So it's moonmessages.com/July eclipse. moonmessages.com/July eclipse. The link is above. You need to go to this page, go right down the bottom. I know you can't see this, but it is right down the bottom. And then there's this thing here. It's where you can basically buy the book if you haven't already pre-ordered it, put your details in, and then you go into our system, okay? And then you get access to the masterclass. If you don't put your details into this page, we can't send you the link for the masterclass. So a few people have done things like, for example, sending me their receipt. And I mean, we've sorted those people out, but ultimately you have to go to this page. It's not automatic you pre-order the book and you get the masterclass. I'm really, really looking forward to the masterclass. It's going to be a big thing about healing, and it's going to be a lot about forgiveness, and it's going to be about, I'm going to go really deep into our hearts to release all the upsets, all the dramas, all the frustrations, all the grief, and all the loss of 2020, which has been enormous for a lot of people. And, you know, even if you can't make the masterclass, well, if you can't make the masterclass and you register, we'll send you a replay because it's at 6 p.m. on Sunday UK time, so it's not going to be good for everybody time-wise. Oh, and Mandy says, can you ask for forgiveness too? Absolutely. We are going to be doing a really powerful forgiveness meditation, which is going to ask for forgiveness and it's going to offer forgiveness. Now, why are we doing this? Okay. We are doing this because it's always the right time to forgive, but especially it's a very good time to forgive at the full moon, and particularly it's an amazing time to forgive at the full moon eclipse, okay? So the full moon eclipse is going to bring up all our feelings, okay? And it's when we're in that, I mean, I think it's called a labile state. I think that's what they call it, sort of technically, people who talk about emotions for a living. It's when we're feeling really emotional that we can start to actually access our feelings and let them go. Okay, so that's what we're going to be doing on Sunday, and I'm really looking forward to it. I'm actually going to be out in my back garden. Some of you know my garden because I go out there, because I'm going to be doing a fire ceremony, which is something I learned to do in India. And we are going to really focus on release work, okay? I'll also talk about what the eclipse means, obviously, for everybody, what it means. And I'm going to talk about the fact that it's in the sign of Capricorn and what that means and how it's affecting our charts, because everybody has Capricorn in their chart somewhere, and they also have Saturn and Pluto and Jupiter in there as well. And yeah, that's what we're going to do. So if you are up for that, if you are up for letting go, then I ask you to join me, and I look forward to seeing you. Okay, I'm really looking forward to it. Okay, so Jen is saying, oh wow, I'd love to be part of the masterclass. See you there. Fantastic. Just click the link up the top. And if you went to the New Moon Masterclass, don't worry. You will have been sent an invitation by now, I hope. You've got it. To give you access to this one, because you've already pre-ordered the diary, and this is my way of saying thank you. Bea says, or B says, is it going to be recorded? Absolutely yes, and it will be sent out the moment we've finished. And I would recommend, if you sign up for it, but it's like 3 o'clock in the morning your time or something, just watch it when you wake up, you know, just sit with us. It'll probably be about an hour. I was going to say an hour and a half, but it'll probably be about an hour because I'm going to be outside. Okay, all right, so there we go. That is what I wanted to clear up. So just for anyone who's just joined us, to get access to the masterclass, you have to enter your details on this page, moonmessages.com/July eclipse. Otherwise, you're not in the system. We don't know that you want to come. We can't send you the links to the webinar and so on. It's purely for you, all right? Full moon, new moon eclipse masterclass was amazing, says Shakia. It's a nice name. Thank you. Thank you. I absolutely loved it as well. It's because we're all the people who come are so amazing and the energy is amazing. All right, so now I'm going to just briefly talk about Saturn a bit more and about Ghislaine Maxwell. I know a lot of you have said you actually don't know who she is. So I'll briefly explain, but it was just a really, really interesting thing. So what it is Ghislaine Maxwell was allegedly the girlfriend of Jeffrey Epstein, who was the American guy who was charged with having basically procured young girls for sex. And as someone said on the list, if you want to find out about it, you can watch it on Netflix. There's a whole big documentary about him. And I mean, one of the biggest scandals is that there was a photo of Prince Andrew, alleged photo, like he claims it was photoshopped, and she claims it wasn't, of a woman called Virginia Roberts, I think was her name at the time. She now lives in Australia, and she claims that she was involved. I mean, I have to be careful because I'm not sure what I'm allowed to say legally, but, you know, go and watch the video. It's all the series. It's all the allegations are out there. And Ghislaine Maxwell was, depending on who you believe, either Epstein's girlfriend or just basically his sort of procurer of young women, or, you know, just his best friend or whatever. And you know, because it goes up, because there are these allegations regarding Prince Andrew, which he addressed on the Panorama episode, where he kind of claimed he was eating pizza in Woking at the time. You know, because it goes up to the royal family, some people say it goes through the American political system and so on. You know, it's a big, big thing. Anyway, what was really interesting was this to me, and I just wanted to mention it, and it may be a little bit more valid for people who understand astrology or have learned the basics of astrology. Many of you will have heard of Saturn return, okay? And so what happened yesterday was Ghislaine Maxwell was finally tracked down. She's been a fugitive. Nobody knew where she was for about a year, I think. Excuse me, after Epstein was arrested, she basically disappeared. She's a multi-millionaire, I think. And, you know, so she had the means to disappear. And in fact, she turned up to have been hiding in some gorgeous little cottage that she bought in somewhere in the north east of the United States. And so what actually happened was that yesterday, Saturn, the planet of karma and lessons, swung back into Capricorn, okay, where it's going to be for a few more months, and actually basically reignited the end of her Saturn return, because it's going to retrograde over her Saturn, okay? And she was caught. And Saturn is all about prisoners. You know, it's about restrictions, it's about limitations, it's about the truth coming out, it's about paying the price, it's about karma. And it was just for those of you who understand astrology and now understand that Saturn swinging back into Capricorn has reactivated her Saturn, which is at the end of Capricorn, and so she's at the end of her Saturn return. It was just the most perfect astrology, kind of on a worldwide level for people to understand. And I'm sorry if that makes no sense to you if you don't know who she is. But yeah, as Gemma just said, bam, karma. Yeah, so there you go. All right, so I'm going to do a card. Yeah, no, you can't run from karma. That's the thing with Saturn. Like, you just have to do what you said you were going to do. You know, wherever you have Capricorn in your chart, and we will talk about this at the masterclass on Sunday, because the full moon eclipse is also in the sign of Capricorn, okay? So, you know, it's going to be big. And wherever you have Capricorn in your chart, and everybody has it somewhere, is where you've been learning lessons, and where you have a lot of karma to deal with. And if you do things right with Saturn, Saturn will help you. Saturn is like the architect of the zodiac and the builder, you know, that builds things, that builds your road to success, that makes you solid and strong and steady, okay? So Saturn has a really, really good side, but Saturn will bite your butt if you don't live in integrity. Okay, and that's just all there is to it with Saturn. Okay, and it's about karmic debt. If you don't do the karma, you'll get the debt. So yeah, and the eclipse that's coming on Sunday is in the sign of Capricorn. Okay, so it's really an interesting time. Okay, so here we go. So I have got a card. This is a card for all of us. Are you ready? Oh, nice one. I'm kind of relieved, because when I start talking about Saturn, you never know you're going to attract. Confidence is the key to your success. So whatever it is that you want to manifest right now, confidence is the key to your success. Now, Aoife, I saw it's your birthday. Happy birthday. This card is for you especially, okay? But for all of us. But Aoife, it's for you too, okay? Confidence is the key to your success. So whatever it is that you want to manifest, confidence is the key to your success. And just by the way, regarding manifesting, one of the things I really want to talk about at the masterclass on Sunday is why the full moon is so important, okay? So we are moving towards the full moon, okay? And we all made our wishes back at the time of the new moon, all right? So you might think that the new moon is all about manifesting, but it's not. Confidence is a key to success in manifesting, okay? It's a really big key. And so is what we're going to do at the full moon, which is about releasing and letting go and releasing attachment. So there we go. All right. So that's it, my guys. Jenny says, do we focus on the house that is in Capricorn or the house Saturn was in on our birth? Well, at the moment, what you want to look at is which house is ruled by Capricorn, okay? So if you get my free chart, it's on there, I think. I'm 99% sure we added it for people on the last page. So, so that's moonmessages.com/free chart. And on the last page, I think it says which sign rules which house. So you want to see which sign Capricorn rules for you. And once you know that, you know where all the energy is right now with Saturn and Pluto and Jupiter and the full moon and all that. Okay, so Jenny, for example, Jenny says that's my 8th house. Okay, so for you, it's about sex and money. It's about joint finances. It's about where you need to have integrity, to get rid of extraneous expenses, where you need to kind of go into your sexual self and find out what that actually means for you. It's when you might have more options sexually. It's when you might have more abundance. You can attract more abundance because you've got Jupiter in there. You know, for you, it's all sex and money. All right, so Tasha says it's the 4th house. Okay, so if it's the 4th house, it's about home and family. So there's going to be big lessons to do with home and family. They won't all be easy. Sometimes it's going to be like living on top of a volcano, you know, because you've got Pluto in there. There'll be hard lessons. There may be demands from your family. You know, it's all about whatever house it's in. That's where all this stuff is coming, and that's where a big turnaround is coming this Sunday, okay, and for the next 6 months. All right, so whatever it is, confidence is the key to your success. So I'm going to sign off now, but I hope to see you on Sunday at the masterclass. Link is above, moonmessages.com/July eclipse, and I'm going to send you lots and lots of love. And I'll either see you on Sunday or I'll see you on Monday. Lots of love.